We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy.
I invite you all to join us. Go ahead and stand, and we're going to sing this opening song together. Let's sing, I Am Open. I am open. I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and me. I am open. Oh, I am open. I am open to receive the love in you and me. Turn to your neighbor, sing, you are open. Yeah, you are open. You are open. You are open to receive the love in you and me.
Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Parker. I want to say a special welcome to Jack Keith this morning, our first time with us today. And of course, Sydney, always lovely to have you with us. I'm David Howard. I haven't met you yet. I'm the minister here, but today I am your exercise coach. I'm not kidding. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. But I say welcome. I want to let you know, no jumping jacks, huh? How about push-ups? No. I wanted to say thank you to Hans Bennis for designing our beautiful banner over here. That's our new vision and mission statements on our banner. And so we began to live into that. We are a vibrant, nurturing, loving community, welcome and inspiring all on their spiritual path. And our mission is we foster the experience of oneness, peace, love, and joy through inspiring Sunday services, classes, workshops, and loving service to our community. You believe it? Yeah. You embody it? Yeah. Yes. All right. So thank you again for that. Couple of things I want to announce this morning. Our picnic is next week. It's potluck, but the church will be providing, the center will be providing chicken and coleslaw and a vegetarian dish, a main dish, and some water. So if we'd ask you to bring something, salad, dessert, whatever. And we also ask you to sign up so we know approximately how many people will be there, so we have enough food. And you have an opportunity to be in loving service to your community next week by helping to set up. We need people to help set up tables at the rec center, which is it's on here somewhere, the Creekside Rec Center in Stroh Ranch, which is not far from here, down Hess and out that way. Somewhere down there. I don't know how to get there. I just don't know the address. So please join us. It'll end at 2:30, but it'll be right after service, and we'll need people to help clean up afterwards as well. So if you're willing to do that, and I know all of you are, please talk to Jeanette or Jennifer about that, and they will sign you up to help with that. Today, what else? The men's and women's group, which normally meet on the second Sunday of the month, will not be meeting this month because of our picnic. We'll resume that in September. Today, if you would like to join us, we are participating. We're actually attending the Douglas County Pride Festival, which is today at, please tell me where it is. Salisbury Equestrian Park on Motzenbacher Road. A group of us, whoever, if you'd like to join us, we're going to go eat at what is it called? Casamata. Casamata. It's right down Hess Road, and if you cross Parker, the first shopping center there on your right. So please join us if you'd like to have lunch, and then we'll go to the park. That's why we have these wonderful T-shirts that Hans also designed for us. There you are, right there in the middle. Thank you, Hans, for that. If you're new, what's that? Bob ordered. And Bob ordered, yeah, our store. we have welcome packets over here on the table as well. If you're new to us, please take one of those. We'd love to share that with you. And the prayer box reminder is about on the back table as you leave. If you have a prayer request, please fill out a card, put it in the prayer box, and just know that we are holding consciousness with you on your prayer requests. And I think that's it. Oh, no, our practitioners. I want to remind you that we do have practitioners who are wearing the white stoles. They're here to pray with you. So if you would like prayer after service, there's some chairs back there. Just there'll be someone back there. So please don't hesitate to ask for support with prayer. And I think now it's Dr. Vern's time to come up, our practitioner for the day.
Well, I'd like to invite you to join me on a very short journey, one that is within, where we connect now with our highest self. And know that in our celebration of inclusiveness, we include all in our envelope of love this morning. Blessing everyone, excluding no one. Inviting all into our hearts, into a world that works for everyone, into a place where we encounter the divine, the very spark of life itself, the kingdom of heaven within, the kingdom of heaven without. Oh, what a gift it is to give ourselves a love-filled life. A life where we love ourselves and all others equally. Where we open our hearts wide to connect with the unconnected, the disconnected. Put a welcome mat out to welcome those who have not felt welcome previously. To say yes to those who are still wondering. To say yes to our own personal calling. To invite in the Divine Master that runs our planet, runs our lives, fills everything with love, knowing that you and I are filled with love from the top of our heads to the tip of our toes. We embrace this nature of love, for it is in our knowing the nature of love that light is still on. Nobody's home here. Oh my gosh, how sobering it is. But you know, when life missteps, we always walk in great confidence and faith in that Master that leads each of us perfectly through all kinds of challenges and gifts and all things wonderful. On this beautiful, cool morning, I just bless each of you for being the presence of love itself, for being the divine in action. For how else can we get to know the divine except through you and me? knowing that each of us experiences a call, the call to come home to our pure and perfect nature. Knowing all this to be true for you and for me, I invite you now to join me in declaring together, and so it is. So now, we're going to have a reading. And this is from the Science of Mind textbook, page 430. When we agree with our adversaries quickly, they will disappear. For there can be no reality to us unless we recognize it. But if we recognize that which is false by our acceptance of us, we shall be delivered to the judgment whereby we ourselves have judged. Jesus tells us to resist not evil, to love our enemies, and to do good to them who would do us evil. For this is to manifest the spirit of love itself, which is God. God loves all alike and causes his rain to fall and his sun to shine alike upon all. In arms which are all-inclusive, divine love encompasses everything. And I just had a little bookmark I read I have to share with you because I just enjoy it. It is never too late to live happily ever after.
Love gone blue and moon on black, giving up on an old fight. Black on stars to breath on blue, still looking west at sunrise. Stars steady through the dark, so far. Slacking the lines, gonna pull up tight when time and tide roll out. It's still the old man waiting up all night for a fish he won't have to lie about. It ain't changing like you thought it would change. Never the same way you want it to stay. Let the chips fall where they may. Abandon the rest to fate. Make peace with the nature of change. It ain't changing like you thought it would change. Never the same way you wanted to stay. Let the chips fall where they may. Abandon the rest to fate. Make peace with the nature of change.
So I invite you to settle in and take a breath. Just allow that breath to bring your full awareness and attention and intention into this moment, where you're fully aware, fully alert to all that is moving in your energy system, all that is moving as your body, all that is moving as your thought, as your emotion, all that is always flowing, energy flowing, shifting, changing. And our opportunity in every moment is to be aware, to stop, to pay attention, to be in the flow of that vibrant life that is living itself in us and through us and as us, individually, individualizing itself as each of us, perfectly, wholly, completely. And so in this moment, we bring our awareness and our intention and attention into that life that is moving, vibrant life, celebrating that life as the very unique expression of the divine that each one of us is. We know that we are that life, that presence, the I am that is the very nature of our spiritual nature. And we know that we are manifested in these human forms, in these beingnesses that are here in this life experience to appreciate and delight in the creation, all the creation of life itself, and to express our unique gifts and abilities and personalities. And so honor yourself in this moment. Honor the unique expression that you are, knowing that you are always included, never excluded from the love and the light that is that divine life. So take a few moments in the silence to simply appreciate that which you are. Hug yourself. Smile at yourself, delight in yourself, and know that all creation celebrates with you. And so once again, just breathe into that life. Be aware of the life as it moves and shifts and changes as the body, as the mind, as the emotions, as all of the flow of your own unique energy signature. And delight, celebrate that which you are as a beautiful, wonderful expression of the allness of God. And in that awareness, we are so grateful. And together let us proclaim, and so it is.
All went up 1929 over our granddad's corpses, where only dust blows the fissured clay ghost of the Colorado out to Cortez. drove his herd down the Baja for decades, and back to the ranch every spring, till he chased a lamb between 10 federales and 29 U.S. Marines. When the smoke cleared and the blood dried in the sand, no one alive would swear by their eyes that old country belonged to any man. The last train to ever pass by here jumped the tracks at El Centro Canteen. The wreckage still lies where the tender caught fire and the boiler's smithereens. Cursive and perfume letters tumbled through smoke and twisted steel, like the breeze knew the address of lovers and dreamers. Grandmothers never would read them. When the smoke cleared and the blood dried in the sand, no one alive would swear by their eyes that old country belonged to any man. Tohono back to the rain, clouds and sea fell silent in 2010 when their poems fed the fire of new history. No river or stream still drains to the Sea of Cortez, and no one alive would swear by their eyes what the clouds ever tried to confess. When the smoke cleared and the blood dries in the sand, no one alive would swear by their eyes that old country belongs to any man. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today. So, let me take my glasses off. We're going to do some exercising today. So, y'all keep laughing. Why are you laughing? Because today we are going to do an exercise program. You can sit in your chair and do this exercise program. You can stand up if you want to do this exercise program. Follow along. But today we are going to engage and strengthen our core. Now, why do we engage and strengthen our core in our physical body when we do our exercises, right? Because that core, the core muscles, support everything. I mean, if you've ever had any back issues, you know how important your core is. Because every movement, everything you do is supported by your core. And so we strengthen our core when we do our exercises. Well, today, our exercise is strengthening our core value of inclusive. We say we are inclusive. What does that really mean? What does it mean to be inclusive is to welcome everybody, to embrace everybody, no matter who, no matter what, no matter where they come from. And so we claim to be inclusive. And so our opportunity is to recognize that, strengthen that core value, and really live into it. So as I thought about this week, I thought about, well, what does it take to really start a new exercise program? Well, for me, it takes a lot of willpower, willingness to actually do it. Because for me, it's so easy for me to settle into my routine, the status quo. Oh, I've got plenty of time for that. I'll do that tomorrow. Or I'll do that, maybe I'll start that the first of the year. However we are, we get comfortable in our status quo. I don't know if I'm speaking for you, I'll speak for me. So I have to make a real commitment to any kind of exercise program or diet program or whatever it is, and to make a real commitment to doing it. And so if we are saying that one of our core values is to be inclusive, then as a community, I think it's important for us to honor that, to strengthen that. Because just like with the body, as we strengthen the core of our body, and everything is connected to that, what if we strengthen these core values? We strengthen the value of inclusive, because everything we do is supported by that. Everything we do as we move forward can be supported by our core values. So if we're strengthening our core, if we're starting this exercise program, what does that require? Some elements of this exercise program. Well, for me, first of all, it's sort of taking a deep breath. Yeah? You take a deep breath. You breathe into this intention, this commitment. And breathing in, I think, also helps us to relax a bit, doesn't it? Just to take a deep breath. And just allow, just be here, be present now for whatever it is we're going to do. And I don't know about you, but sometimes if I haven't been exercising quite a bit, or exercising at all, I can get kind of stiff. If I've been sitting too long, or if I haven't been moving too much, I can get pretty stiff. Well, what about if we can get sort of stiff and staid in our opinions, can't we? Kind of stiff and staid in our ideas, our beliefs about things. And so what helps when we exercise, I think, I like to begin exercising with a little stretching. So we have to stretch a little bit. So for me, I like to start with stretching my neck. So think of this as stretching. Am I willing to open my eyes? And am I willing to look all around? Am I willing to look at my opinions? Am I willing to stretch a little bit to see somebody else's ideas? Am I willing to see where I might be a little tense, a little staid, a little tight in my opinions? That's important. Now I know we're all woke. So I'm not suggesting you have a lot of stuff stayed. But it's important for us to look, and I think also for me, it's important to look sort of I want to say within, but also it's like, can I look kind of behind me? Stretch a little bit. Looking behind me a little bit. What might I be holding on to from my history? From my past teaching? From learning from my family, my culture? What might still be in there? And it's important to look at that. to admit that, to be honest with ourselves about that. Is it anything in there about race, skin color? Is there anything in there about sexual orientation? Is there anything in there about gender identity or gender expression? Nobody knows that but you. And so our opportunity is to be willing to look, to stretch, and to look and see, where might I be stuck in my ideas? Or they may not have even been my ideas. I may have taken them on. What about religion? Anybody have any judgment about anybody else's religion? Maybe it was your past religion. Yeah? I know a lot of us say, so I even said it myself, I'm a recovering Baptist, or I'm a recovering Catholic. Do you see how even that is a judgment? How can I even just be okay with all of that? And then I think stretching for me is, okay, I found something that I want to look at, and so I think it's important for us. Our stretching can also be like, are we willing to lean into it? We're willing to stretch and lean into whatever we found. Am I really willing to lean into my own stuckness? Stretching it out, going into it, experiencing it. Am I willing to bend so that I'm not so I'm more flexible in my thoughts and my ideas and my opinions? I think it's important for us, again, this core of inclusivity supports us individually, it supports us collectively, just like the core of your body supports the well-being of the body, so does the core of inclusivity support the body of this community and the body of the whole world community. So it's important for us individually and collectively to look at, where am I stuck? Where am I so satisfied with the status quo and become so comfortable with the status quo that's difficult for me to stretch a little bit, to look at myself? Again, I'm not judging anybody. It's not about judging, and please don't judge yourself. This is where I'm at. This is my history. This is what I learned. This is what my parents taught me. This is what the world I have gathered from the world, that I can question it. I can lean into it. I can stretch it. I can bend. I can change. So stretching is so important. And what I find when I'm exercising is that I tend to hold my breath. Anybody else do that? So we got to keep breathing through it. We've got to keep breathing through it. Allowing that breath to bring us back into the moment, back into our self, our highest self. And then after we have some stretching, when we do our exercise program, you feel a little flexible, a little bit more flexible. Then you might want to do some cardio. We might do the jumping jacks, I don't know. Or we might run or whatever. We might want to do some cardio because it opens up the heart. It gets the heart flowing. It gets the heart moving. It gets that lifeblood, that life energy flowing through us. And it opens up, it's an opportunity to really connect with our heart and to open it up as a flow of love to all people with empathy and understanding and compassion. To open ourselves up, and let me say this. After you do your stretching, after you're willing to look, after you're willing to lean in, do that for yourself first. Give yourself some empathic understanding and compassion if you find something that you think, oh God, I can't believe I'm still hanging on to that. I can't believe I still believe that. Or if there's any thought in my mind that would still believe that. I face that sometimes. I'll be honest with you. So don't beat yourself down about that. Give yourself some empathy and compassion. Okay. Because only when we are willing to love ourselves with empathic compassion and understanding, can we then extend that to other people, really. And so are then we willing to see the experience of others, the disinherited, the disenfranchised, those who have been the outcasts, so to speak, and those who still are to many. Are we willing to see that experience? And what I want to help us to know is that when we're looking at inclusivity, it's important for us to recognize, I think, that we all want the same thing. All human beings want love, to be loved, to matter. We want respect. We want the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is what we talk about, isn't it? That's what we all want. Now, we may all go about it in different ways, but are we willing to see, even for ourselves, my greatest desire is to know my highest self, which is peace, love, joy, life, liberty. And am I willing to know that everybody wants that? Everybody. Everybody wants to be embraced. Everybody wants to belong. We all want that. We just all have different ideas about how it's going to happen. So am I willing to see that? I want to impress upon us, because I know it's up for many of us, the political divisions that we face. And I think it's important for us to recognize, no matter what side of that question you are on, everybody wants the same thing. All right? Can we see that? Are we willing to see that? We just all go about it in a different way. We may not agree. That's okay. But are we willing to really embrace, include even those people that we most strongly disagree with? Oh, that's hard, isn't it? It's challenging. But if we're talking about including everybody, that leaves no one out. No one out. So we open our hearts and share that love and that light and that peace and that joy with everyone. And then the next part of our exercise program is strength training. Now, I'm not going to suggest anybody go out and start doing heavy lifting, because I don't want you to hurt yourself. Anytime you do an exercise program, you want to just assess where you are. You want to assess where you are and not jump into doing more than you're capable of doing. But push yourself a little bit. Don't go to pain, but go to the edge. But part of that, for me, maybe you can see we're kind of core, we're going to open up our heart, then we're going to kind of open up our minds. And I think part of that strength training is educating ourselves. Educating ourselves on the experience of other people. Being willing to read a book. And if you're going to work out, you're going to read a book, you're going to have a trainer. You're going to watch videos, at least, hopefully, to learn how to do it properly. You're not just going to jump in. You might. But again, It's not about us being the savior of anybody. It's about us educating ourselves, recognizing what other people's experiences might be. Even though we cannot have that experience, we can try to understand and have empathy and compassion for other people's experiences. And then take that step. Whatever that step might be. You know, I'm proud that we're going to the Pride Festival today. That we're standing for what we believe. That everyone is included. And that we are here to embrace everyone. And so that opportunity as we strengthen ourselves in our awareness of what it really means to be inclusive, to do the work, to educate ourselves, and to know what is ours to do, and to do whatever heavy lifting we need to do, to strengthen ourselves in our commitment to be radically inclusive. Radically inclusive of all people. Now I want to say, again, when I start an exercise program, I want the end result immediately. I want to see the results. Or if I start a diet program and I haven't lost 10 pounds in 5 weeks, five days actually, then I think, well, where is it? When is it going to happen? What's going on? Anybody else? Testify. What I want to say is that just like an exercise program or a diet program, it's not going to happen immediately. It's a progressive process. So I want us to hold the vision. Again, we're here. We want to have a vision of a world that works for everyone. We want to hold that vision and do whatever incremental steps we need to take in order to help manifest that, to demonstrate that in the world. And I think what I have tried to outline today is just the beginning. Stretching, looking, being honest with ourselves, looking behind us to see what am I bringing into this moment that no longer is true or I no longer believe, but it's still resonating somewhere in my energy field. Whether that's in my mind, in my emotions, in my perceptual center, where am I holding that? And stretch into it, lean into it, because I think sometimes we want to avoid it. Oh, I can't believe I think that. I can't believe I do that. I can't believe that's still there. No, lean into it. Be willing to sort of lean into it so you can bend and be flexible. Do whatever it takes for us to open our hearts to people. You know, with empathy and compassion and kindness. Kindness is also one of our core values. And then to hold the vision, educate ourselves, do what we need to do. Because we can hold the vision, but that vision requires action. You can hold the vision for a buff body, but you're probably not going to get it unless you do something about it. At least that's been my experience, and I obviously haven't done enough to do it. But anyway, in closing, I do want to share with you a quote from Ernest Holmes, our founder. And this is from the 1926 version of Science and Mind, page 122, when he's talking about what the mystics taught. And he says, and I want to preface this by saying, you know, he wrote in the early part of the last century, so he uses language that we might think is sexist today, but again, please just listen to the message. The unity of good is a revelation of the greatest importance, for it teaches us that we are one with the whole and one with each other. This realization alone will settle the question of human inequality. The real fatherhood of God and the actual brotherhood of man will be made apparent on earth to the degree that we realize true unity. He goes on to say, no great mystic ever lived who denied the reality of individuality. Listen to this, the higher the sense of truth, the greater will be the realization of the uniqueness of individual character and personality. The higher the sense of truth, the greater will be the realization of the uniqueness of individuality, and he doesn't leave out personality. And that's important. So if we realize the truth, we recognize the truth of our unity with the one as expressions of the one, and know that as that we are one with all humanity. That is the realization. And so I invite you to breathe into that. Breathe deeply into your heart. And invite the revelation, the realization of your unity as one individuated expression of the whole. Claiming it, seeing it, knowing it for yourself. Allow that realization to resonate deep in your heart, deep in your solar plexus, deep in the core of your being. And rise into your head so that you know, you hold the vision, you have a realized vision of that truth. And as you realize that truth, you realize that for each and every being, each and every individuated expression of the one, without exception, you include it all. Because there can be no other truth, no other reality. And in that, we realize and recognize the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the kinship is a better word, the kinship of all humanity. And see in your mind's eye, using your power of imagination, that being made manifest on the earth. Peace and love and sufficiency and belonging for all people. We claim it is true. We know it is the only reality that exists in the one mind, in the one heart. And as we attune to it, as we realize it, as we embody it, individually and collectively, we know that we bring that into demonstration right here and right now. Knowing it is so, we do what is ours to do. We follow that inner guidance, step by step by step, because we know as we claim it and allow it to be so, it does become. And let us claim it together by proclaiming, and so it is. We breathing? You feel relaxed? You feel stretched out? Good. So now is the time in our service where we have the opportunity to share from our good, from our financial good, to support this beautiful ministry here. And so if you share electronically, you share recurringly, we're so grateful for all the ways that you support this community. We are blessed. We certainly are blessed. And so if you're going to share today, I invite you to hold that in your hands, hold it in front of your heart, and just feel the energy of that which you are radiating through you as love and light as you bless this offering. knowing that we are so abundant and prosperous as we open to receive. We welcome it, we are grateful for it, and we lovingly and generously share from our good. And so let us say together, and so it is.
If I might share a little thought on this song that we're about to play. It's based in a Stoic philosophy that goes something like, "Let justice be done, though the heavens fall." And it brings me some peace when I see reactions to my own thoughts, my own choices, my own actions that I may not agree with and I may not understand, but that I think, I choose to be in a way that I believe is just, and I can appreciate what's being said today in the same way. The song is called "Let Fall the Heavens." Justice be done, let fall the heavens. There's nothing so wrong that it can't be undone. Whatever comes of your strongest convictions can't be allowed. If you lost or you won. One thing you learn from a man of reason, and even hand judging the wrong and the righteous. An angry man makes his mind without thinking. He'd have you believe in the justice he's done. But don't mistake justice for mercy. Forgive the sinner and punish him too. When a man walks free as a bird, he will fly and do unto things that you never would do. It took years upon years to reach a decision. The jury's still out on the plains, 'cause the devil still rides alongside of this cowboy. He's making his home on the plains. And he don't need your justice or mercy by gavel or stone with a name. Heaven still rides alongside of this cowboy. He's making his home on the wide open range. Let justice be done on the wide open range.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you sharing that with us. So I invite you to stand if you're willing and able as we really breathe into gratitude for these gifts and offerings this morning. So really allow yourself to open at the top. Feel that energy, that light, that love moving through you, knowing that you are always in the flow of that divine life. And these gifts and offerings that we receive this morning are simply one expression of that divine life flowing in and through and as each of us. And we are grateful, we are blessed, and we receive with great gratitude. And let us all say together, and so it is. So thank you. Hopefully you will join us at Casamata. I got it right. After service. There's lots of food over here too. If you don't want to join us, there's plenty. Please stay. And then join us at the park if you're willing to do that. It'll be warm, but it'll be worth it. So look forward to sharing that with you, and blessings on your week as you go forward. I just invite you to think about that, stretch a little bit, lean into things, and allow yourself to see where you are, just your own self. It's all about where I am in this moment, and open yourself to that. So blessings to you this week. I love you, I bless you, and I appreciate you. So let's close with our closing song.
Our closing song. All right, let's sing this together. We are singing and we are praying. We are calling a new earth. We are singing and we are praying. We are calling a new earth. We open our bodies to listen. We dream the world awake. We hold to the starlight vision. Our love is a vow we make. We are singing, we are praying. We are calling a new earth. We are singing and we are praying. We are calling a new earth. Let's sing that one more time. We are singing and we are praying. We are calling a new earth. We are singing and we are praying. We are calling a new earth now.